So the Laliga Team of the Season Cup is coming this Thursday, and as a result, let's go through all the investments for it. So just before the video does start, a quick little ad on a trading service I offer over on Twitch for the cheapest trading guides out there for just £4, €4, all free with Amazon Prime. You'll receive daily trading and investing guides covering PlayStation, Xbox and PC with an array of methods covering all budgets. And I've been trading for over 10 years, making over 100 million in multiple different FIFAs, and now for the last 4 years I've made 10 million coins in just the first month. So the La Liga Team of the Season Cup is coming this Thursday, and as a result we're going to go through all the investments for it. Now I'm not going to be covering any of the players who are likely to get a La Liga Team of the Season. I'll be covering the gold cards that aren't likely to get a Team of the Season but are likely to do well for the Cup. So if you guys are interested in any players that you think you should be seeing but you aren't seeing, it's probably because they're favoured to get either a Team of the Season or maybe a Team of the Season moment. So let's go through the investments. Now what I'm going to be doing is going through the investments position by position by position. Now the reason I'm going through position by position by position is you'll hopefully understand why I'm picking certain players. Because certain players can do really well due to a lack of options, and certain players, I guess, which may look a bit more mainstream, wouldn't do that well because of set of options. So first off, we're going to start with goalkeepers, and that's all we need about goalkeepers. Goalkeepers don't do very well. The reason goalkeepers don't do very well is I just don't think people ever seem to buy the goalkeepers. Now we move on to centre-backs. Well, I've got Eder Militao, Orejio, Conde, Alaba, Rudiger. You know, I think there's Eric Kabako if you want to go for that, and Coco, but I wouldn't really put them in the in that bracket. So we've got Rudiger, Alaba, Conde, Orejio, and Militao. 5 players. Obviously, there is at minimum 2 centre-back positions per team, but we're only looking at gold cards here. So what I would go with is I wouldn't go with Conde because Conde is insanely inflated at 7.6k. What I would probably go over is Eder Militao, because I also think Eder Militao has the outside chance of getting a moment. Now the problem we have with Eder Militao is that he only has a 10k price range. Now we will get new price ranges on Tuesday, which will work in favour for him. Not guaranteed to get a new price range, but because he's been inflated for a few weeks, he's may get an increase in the price range. As you can see, he's barely inflated. He's barely dropped below 7.5k, meaning at 500 coins premium, it's not too bad. He's probably the most go-to centre-back, despite there being a fair few centre-backs. So that's why I like him as an investment. Now, Orejio and Rudiger are favourite to get Team of the Seasons, and as a result, I probably wouldn't touch Conde or Alaba because I'd either go Militao, Orejio, or Rudiger. Because again, Conde is so inflated and he's not likely to go out of packs. And Alaba, again, I just think there's better options. So that is centre-backs. Now we're going to move on to right-backs. And as you can see, there's a lot of right-backs, but not many of these guys can really play right-back. Now something I haven't brought up quite yet is there's actually an alternative investment than just buying the players. And that's buying the players for 1k more with a shadow. Now what's the relevance of buying players for 1k more with a shadow? Well, if I go and show you some of the players used for the Liga, there is a significant difference between having a shadow and not having a shadow. That's because people want to buy these gold plebby cards but ideally have a shadow on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and load up the likes of Skriniar. Now Skriniar is being used for the Team of the Season Cup. We can see he's a bit inflated. We can see he's about 1.9k. But with a shadow we should see a minimum increase in about 2k. There we go, if not maybe 3k. 4k? 5k? Okay, that's stupid. There's like none on the market, but he's definitely a sort of card that would be demanded with a shadow. Now it's not necessarily everyone's going to have a 5k premium, but normally they'll have like a 2 to probably 4k premium with a shadow. Meaning there are some cards that, first off, you can just go and buy the gold card and then pay up to 1k more for the shadow. And there's some cards I probably wouldn't buy, but you know what? If you can get them for like 2k with a shadow, they'll probably go up to 4k. Even if their base card doesn't really rise, they go up to 4k. Just like how Skriniar's base card only went up to 700 coins, but him with a shadow is up 5k. You could probably not sell it for 5k more, but you get the gist, it should be worth a bit more. So that's going to come into practice with the right backs, because there are a few right backs, and there's only a few that I'd buy maybe with a shadow. So someone like Correa, I'd pay up to 2k of a shadow, but wouldn't want to go and buy his base card. Someone like Molina, I'd pay for 2k for a shadow, but I wouldn't want to go and buy his base card. Someone like Carvajal, I'd pay up to 2k more for him, but not for his base card, just because I think there's too many cards that I like that, but there's not enough cards with shadow. Now, in terms of right backs that I would just straight up buy, I think Balde at discard's good because he's got that left back utility and he's got the right back utility. I think sadly too late on Llorente. He's been 2.5k for a lot of recent time, so he's already doubled in price. I wouldn't touch him. João Cancelo sadly was 5k recently. He's also favoured to get a Team of Seasons. He might have to hold off of João Cancelo. Orejio and Conde are basically centre backs, so I don't like them. So really, the only investment you can go for, in my opinion, in right backs is going to be Balde or Correa with a shadow, Molina with a shadow, and Carvajal with a shadow. And of course, you can go and pay a K more for Balde to have a shadow. Same sort of thing for left backs. We move over here. Wouldn't be touching Acuna. Wouldn't touch Alaba. Wouldn't touch Fernandez. You can go and pick up Mendy up to 6. I wouldn't go 6.5, but even at 6k, he's still favourite to go and do well. We then move to a few of the plebby left backs. Someone like Xavi Galán, I'd probably pay 2k of a shadow. Guy, I'd pay 2k with a shadow. Ronaldo, just he's got that centre back utility. I'd go and pay 2k with a shadow. And then apart from that, maybe Fran Garcia for 2k of a shadow, and then back to Balde because, you know, he's a left back and right back, and that's kind of why Balde is quite a nice investment. We're now going to move underway with CDM, centre mids, and Cam. Wouldn't touch Toni Kroos, wouldn't touch Gundogan, wouldn't touch Parejo. Tchouaméni with a shadow, I'd probably go and pay up to 2.5k. Wouldn't buy Koke, wouldn't buy Dada. Maybe go and pay 2k for Camavinga with a shadow, and then wouldn't touch any of those cards. Then moving underway as centre mids because there'll be a bit of a crossover here. Frankie de Jong I think is a good investment. I don't think he's getting a team of season. Could get a team of season moments because his base card's used a fair bit. But yeah, I think he's a good investment right there. You could go and buy Dardo with a shadow for 2k. Thomas Lemar for 2k of a shadow is good. Again, wouldn't buy his base card. And that is about it. Not too many more cards I'd want to go and buy there. Now moving underway with the left mid and the left wings. Now Rodrigo I think has only got a 10k price range. So you're too late to go and invest in him. Depay I don't think is too bad at 1.5k. I mean 2k is a little bit pricey, but yeah, 1.5k is good on him. And apart from that now, like I was saying, you can go and buy specific players with Shadow. There are players you can go and buy with Hunter. So for example, like Depay I'd happily pay up to 3k for with a Hunter. Not really too much else there that I'd really want to be buying, in all fairness. No, a lot of these players are just very, very plebby. Nico Williams, I'd say, for 2.5k of a Hunter could work. Guedes I wouldn't quite want to touch until he calms down from that Evo hype. And maybe, no, I'd probably just go Nico Williams up to 2.5k with a Hunter. That's going to be about that. As I say, sadly, a lot of these players are quite inflated, but if you leave it very late, you know, it's a beggars can't be choosers sort of situation. If you want to go and buy players for next week, you probably want to start looking generally at about Thursday, and you're looking at buying Serie A players. I will have a video out for that, probably coming on about Friday, I'd say, covering the Serie A players. But yeah, so there's a bunch of players. Again, a fair few of them should still be easily buyable. If not, look out for bids, look out for buy now, scour the market, literally just throw in filters on the transfer market, stuff like we go gold rare, Laliga, shadow, and then go and throw in like a 2.5k buy now. And if you go and check this every hour, every few hours, what you'll do is you'll eventually see players like Molina popping up. You'll see, you know, potentially like DePaul's popping up, Lamar's popping up, and it won't really be much effort. And again, you can do the exact same thing with Hunter. Just go onto the market, go La Liga, gold rare, Hunter, and see if any of those decent players popping up. Tchouaméni, not really. Inaki Williams was good at 2k, but that's slightly too expensive. And that's kind of, I mean, this Inaki Williams right here at 1.7k is good. Again, it's 1k more than it is without a Hunter. There'll be a decent premium on this card, even if he doesn't get a team of season, even if the gold card doesn't go up much, because it is one of the best cards. So the Hunter and Shadow method is just a way of kind of getting deals even when stuff's inflated, because and also a way of making money on players that their gold might not become inflated, but then with a Hunter or a Shadow might. So hopefully that's given you guys a good pointer and a way of making money. Regarding selling these cards, you're going to go and sell them Friday before 6 PM. The reason for that is the amount of people doing the cups normally drops off after 6 PM on the Friday. On top of that, a lot of these cards aren't favoured to go out of packs, and because they aren't favoured to go out of packs, they'll also go and drop in price. And then finally, of course, players could get replaced by an objective, an SBC, or half the time we've got loads of cheap team of the seasons. For example, if I go and look into the Liga, and there's so many cheap team of the seasons, and as a result, it would have dropped the left backs, would have dropped the right backs, would have dropped the CDMs. I mean, there's an insane right back there for just 50k. There's cheap right wings, there's cheap centre backs. Again, more cheap CDMs there. So because there's loads of cheap players in different positions, this can drop some of the gold cards and, you know, especially some of the more inflated ones, maybe stuff like De Jongs and so on. Sorry, more expensive ones, because they're just being replaced by that. But that is that. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.